starting over again. All right, so as you can see here, whenever we multiply by 10, we basically are taking the number and moving it over. So if I did 47 times 10, I'm basically going to be, remember when we had, and if this was a decimal point, let's pretend the decimal point, because the decimal point is always after the number, and this would be the tens, right? The tens, and this is the ones, right? And this would be the hundreds. So if we multiply by 10, the 4 goes to the hundreds place. It goes over 1. No, Ozzy, stop. The 7 would go up by 10 times, and the 7 would go from 1s to 10s place. And then there would be nothing there, so you have to add a 0, 470. Now, my shortcut is always, if you don't have a decimal point, you can always just add, if it's 10, you just add a 0. If it's 100, you add 2 zeros. If it's 1,000, you just add 3 zeros, so it goes over 3 place values, okay? Same thing with this one. 38 times 10 would be 380. All you have to do is add a 0, because the 30 becomes a 300, and the 8 becomes an 880, right? Okay. All right. Now down at the bottom, we have to find the missing factor. A factor is two numbers you multiply together, right? So we have 96 times what number would give us 960? Well, we just have to add a 0 to 96, right? So I know that I multiplied by 10. So times 10 would give us 960. That's the same formula as above, right? All right. So, and then here at number 10, we are multiplying a number by 10 to get 700. Well, if we multiply by 10, remember I said you add a 0? Well, if I get rid of that 0, my number is 70. So I know that I must have multiplied by 70. Because if I added a 0 to my number, and again, that's my same formula that I used, okay? This is pretty simple because you're just dealing with tens here. So this page should be pretty easy, okay? All right, I'm going to go ahead and erase this page, everybody. Bye. And then I'm going to move it up, okay? So I'm going to move this page up a little bit. And we're going to look at the next page. Now, the next page, they give you an example, okay? So here's the example. All right. So they're doing 39 times 30. So what they're doing here is they're breaking apart the 30 here to make it what two numbers would be multiplied to equal 30. So they're giving you a 10. 10 times what number gives me 30? So how many 10s would I need to make 30? Would you say 3? Yep, 3. So I'm breaking this 30 up into 3 times 10, as you can see. So the first thing I have to do is 39 times 3. Now, for those people who have not done a lot of multiplying, I'm going to show you how we do this. And you can use, if you want to use a multiplication sheet, I think you can get them online easy. They might be in your notebooks. Some of the notebooks have a multiplication table. Let me see if I do have one. Some notebooks do. Some of the black and white notebooks have a multiplication table. If they do. So here's the deal. You're going to do 3 times 9 first, and you can look it up, 3 times 9. And if you know this, it's 27. You write the 7 here. And since the 2 is in the tens place, we're going to carry it. It's going to go up here because it's in the tens place. Now we do 3 times 3. And 3 times 3 is 9. And we have to add 2 to it. So 9 plus 2. And that's 11. Okay? All right? All right. There's another way we can multiply too. It's called the area model. And maybe you guys did this before. And I'm going to show it to people that would like to use this method. Okay? And you write 3 over here. Uh-oh. What happened here? Oh, so something, I hit the keyboard accidentally. So I do 3, and 3 times 30. I'm going to break the 30 and the 9 apart, okay? Okay. So I'm going to multiply the 10 separately. So 3 times 30. So 3 times 3 is 9 and a 0, okay? So that's 90. And then I do 3 times 9, which is 27. And then I take those two numbers and I add them together, okay? So I have to add those together. So let's do that. So 90 plus 27. Gosh, what happened there? I don't know what's going on here. Uh-oh, it keeps going down on me. So, well, I'm adding those together. Guys, know that's a plus sign. I don't know why it's not letting me do that. Okay. So that's 7 plus 0, 7. And 9 plus 2 is 11. Notice I get the same answer. Okay. So that's going to be 117 because I multiplied them together. 117. And if I multiply by 10, remember I just have to add a 0. Or I'm moving the numbers over a place value. So that 100 becomes 1,000. And the other one, that 10 becomes a 100. The 7 becomes a 70. And then we have a 0 placeholder. And that's 1,170. Make sure you use commas, please. Okay. All right. Number 18, same thing. But we're breaking apart 90. So we're going to do everything times 10. And what times 10 equals 90? So if you see that first number, if you said 9, 9 is in the front, we're going to separate it out. So you're going to do 9 times 143, okay? 143 times 9. All right, and we've already did 9 times 3. We did it over here, and we know that 9 times 3 was 27. So we put a 7 there, we carry the 2. All right, the next numbers we do is 9 times 4. So that's 9 times 40 is what you're really doing. So 9 times 4, I know, is 36. Now 36 plus 2 is 38. So I'm going to write an 8 here, and I have to carry the 3, 38. And the last one's easy. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 3 is 12. Okay. So that's going to be 1,287.
Can you please keep that screen up for a second?
Yeah, I'll leave the screen up for a minute. Okay. So if we multiply by 10, all we're doing is adding a 0, right? Or we're moving all these place values over one place value. So all these numbers are going to go to the left one place value. So the 1,000 becomes a 10,000. The 200 becomes a 2,000. And then we got to put our comma, right? The 80 becomes an 800. The 7 becomes a 70. And we have to put a 0 in for the ones, okay? Because we have no ones. So that answer is 12,870. I'm also going to show the area model again so you guys can see that. And I'm going to erase. Can I erase these two numbers on top? I'm going to just erase these two numbers. I'm just going to erase my two numbers that I carried so I have room, okay? So if I did an area model again, so I'm going to do my area model. And my area model is for 9 times 143. So this area model is going to be bigger, okay? So that's going to be 100. And then the next one is going to be, hey guys, shh, mute, go mute it, please. It's way too loud. And then 3. So if I split 143 up, and this is expanded notation, I have a 100, I have a 40, and I have a 3. So 143, right? Correct. So the first one in my area model when I do this is I do 9 times 100. So this is like using your multiplication table. So 9 hundredths is 900, right? Okay. There you go. Now I can do 9 times 40. So I do 9 times 4, which is 36. And I add a 0, so it's 360. And the last one, 9 times 3, we did earlier is 27. All right, so this time when we have to add up all these three numbers. Is there somebody trying to get in? No? Okay, good. Okay, sorry. All right, so let's add these three numbers up in this in the area model. So the area model will do it over here. So we have 900 plus 360 plus 27. So we're going to add those numbers up. And this is a strategy you can use if you want to multiply this way. So 7 plus zeros and zeros is 7. 2 plus 6 is 8. And 9 plus 3 in the last row is 12. What? We have the same number as I got before? That's weird. How did I get to the same number doing two different methods? So those are two different methods for multiplying, and that's on the second page. I'll leave this page up for a minute. I'm going to stop recording. I will post this, so I'm going to stop sharing. Stop recording, okay?
Mr. Nelson,
Yes.
Brody needs to get let in.